Okay, go.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Lichfield Talking News podcast. I'm Colin.
I'm Josh.
And we're back together, baby!
We are back together. How long has it actually been since we did one of these together?
Too long. Me and Josh regularly see each other, but as I alluded to in the last episode, we struggle to get our diaries together for the recording sometimes, so we have to do a little bit of a solo occasionally. But me and Josh have taken a bit of a mate date, so I've learned this
we're in
today.
A market establishment, aren't we? Where are we and why is it so noisy?
Right, so we are currently in the Lichfield Garrick in Lichfield. Josh has already sucked his Prosecco. I'm slowly downing mine. I feel very important.
But it is the hottest day of the year.
Absolutely.
Oh, sorry, no, not the hottest day of the year. The hottest day ever recorded in the UK.
Absolutely, and I'm literally stood here feeling like I'm having a shower. It is that warm, but we are in a beautifully air-cooled building, and I still feel like I'm having a shower, but we are here to see Robin Hood. We've got our programme, we've got our Prosecco. Well, I have, Josh has downed his. I'm taking in the ambience. How would you describe this beautiful
We are currently in a sort of a side room where they've lumped in all the reporters and the press and the VIPs. It's very grand, it feels lovely, it's very hot, it is perhaps the hottest room in the whole venue.
Yeah, I can feel the aircon, but I can also feel the sweat pouring down my face, Josh, so, you know.
But it is a very nice welcome, actually, and I'm looking forward to seeing the show.
Well, you've never been here, have you?
No, I moved to Lichfield over a year ago now, still haven't been to the Garrick, and every time I walk past it I always say, oh, I'm really looking forward to going to the Garrick, and yet haven't actually made it, so I'm looking forward to seeing my first show at the Garrick. I'll actually be able to tell you guys a little bit later on what I think of the theatre as well, on top of the show, so I'm looking forward to getting in.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, actually, me and you are about to celebrate our first anniversary of meeting, Josh.
How do you know that? How have you got that date to hand?
Well, I haven't, I was just like guessing because you've been here over a year.
We may already have passed it.
We could have done. But,
okay, so let's go in then. Let's see how it's like, and we'll talk to these guys afterwards. Yeah.
See you soon.
How was that? That was incredible, wasn't it?
Wow. I'm quite speechless, actually, I think. That second half was just incredible. I was really impressed. I think that's a community project that's been going on for 4 months.
I really do think that for a community project where they all come together, these aren't professionals, they come together, they do this as a community project in their own time. I really do think it was utterly spectacular. We have just got, haven't we? We're outside now, as you can probably hear. We are in the underpass by the brand new Tesco Express, in the real professional, living it up as the professionals we are. We have just had an exclusive interview, haven't we, with the man who played. Who did he play?
He played the sheriff of Nottingham.
And what's his name? Ashley Lay is his name, and he was absolutely fantastic. So
he was really good, and if you stay tuned and listen next week, you'll hear an exclusive interview. Can we say, Josh?
I think we can. Yeah, I think we can.
An exclusive interview with Ashley, who was an incredible baddie.
He really was a great baddie. But until then, let's tell the viewers what we thought of the show. So that's my first ever show at the Lichfield Garrick. So not only was it experiencing that show for the first time, but it was also being inside that venue for the first time. Now, I was blown away. I thought it was a fantastic venue. I thought it was lovely. I thought it was comfortable. I thought the stage was fantastic. I thought the layout was brilliant. Staff were amazing. The lights were great. Comfortable. It was a fantastic night out at the theatre. But the show itself as well was just brilliant. What did you think?
For me, I think it's a great family atmosphere. I've been lucky enough to have been to the Garrick quite a number of times. It is a beautiful, beautiful theatre. As you say, it's set out beautifully. The seats are comfortable. I'm not quite sure what the auditorium holds, but it's
a decent number.
Yeah, it is. And it looked, it was a nice professional setup. The show itself, I mean, that second half just blew me away. How good it was, considering, like you just said, you just referred to, that this is a community group of actors. They, you know, whether you class them as professional actors, I don't know, but they are seriously good. There's some really standout performances there.
And you know what, I thought that at parts, I didn't feel like the audience was really appreciating it enough. Like, there were parts where I was actually laughing out loud and I thought it was hilarious and I wanted to clap and I thought, wow, this is, you know, breathtaking. But it almost felt as though the audience were kind of, you know, they were almost shy. They didn't want to really give it their all. And I don't know if that was because they wanted to make the cast feel at ease, if they knew it wasn't a professional performance, they wanted to kind of be in the cast's hands. But I really did think it was just amazing, and I would have liked to have seen a bit more energy from the audience, really.
I don't know, it was for me, it had that very, I don't know if you know what I mean by this, but it was a real warm and gooey, nice family feeling. It was like, it was a feel-good factor. You could just go and switch off for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you know, and you could, you know, one of the part of the story was really engrossing, and some of the acting, it was captivating. It was, you really got sold into the story, and I was really impressed. Like I say, I think there's some standout performances. You know, credit to all of them. They all, you know, all of the actors and actresses. But yeah, the standout performance was definitely the sheriff, and I'd say Robin Hood was
fantastic. You know who else was good? I think she played multiple characters throughout the show, but she started as playing the kind of, you know, the consort to the noble guard, and then she went on to be the spouse of the musician, and she was the younger version of the narrator. She had brown hair, and she was just fantastic. She was brilliant, and it really was. I mean, it's a testament to this community performance, because it was a range of people. There were actors there who had day jobs, who were grown-ups, who had maybe been doing this for a number of years, and they just do this in their spare time. There were also youngsters there, weren't they? Kind of school-age children, as an ensemble cast. And it was just a brilliant mix, and all of them had fantastic voices. They made a great noise. The actors were brilliant, really convincing. There was a moment when we had the king and his henchmen up in one of the royal boxes, and that was an absolute standout moment, wasn't it?
That was one of the iconic moments for me. I think it was really cleverly played, where, as Josh alluded to, the king, Maid Marian, they were up in, it was like one of the side boxes, and there was a spotlight on them, and to throw your voice, and obviously they've got mics on, I appreciate, but to be able to have such a powerful voice and to be able to keep people, you know, entertained, and bearing in mind this again is a community project, it was really, really entertaining.
Do you know, I hadn't actually noticed them until, I think it might have been the prince that shouted down, and I looked up and I kind of thought, have they been there the whole time?
Me too. I must be. I noticed it when I think the prince shouted down as well, and I hadn't noticed them before. I think I probably just thought they're just spectators who managed to get seats up in the box.
So you reviewed a show for the Talking News podcast not long ago, Colin. It was the Panto.
I did.
It was Peter Pan, not Robin Hood.
It was Peter Pan, not Robin
And
Hood.
how did that differ, compare, contrast? How was that when you think back to the pantomime that took place in the end of the year, in December it would have been,
wasn't it?
Yeah, how did that community performance compare to the pantomime?
Well, the pantomime was, I don't believe that was a community performance. I think that was, if you like, some might call them professional actors that do it for a living, I believe. But these were, you know, these actors and actresses, some of those performances were just as good. It's a different play, so it's hard to compare the two plays because they're different, obviously, in some senses. But again, it almost seems to work to protrude this warm ambiance, this feel-good, family-orientated show. I mean, the show at Christmas had a lot of laughs. And it probably had more than tonight, but I think tonight was a bit more of a more serious story to a point, and so maybe it didn't have the laughs that Christmas had. I think it's important to remember tonight as well, this was an opening night, this was their first night, and I think they absolutely smashed it.
Absolutely. So out of 10 then, Colin, what are you going to rate it?
Oh, jeez. Go on, I'll go with it's either an 8.5 or a 9.
Oh, that's a praise indeed. I think I'd give it a 10. I think the show itself was just fantastic. So let's leave it there. Let's leave the episode there. Let's thank people for joining us this week.
Just one quick shout out for people before we go. If you do want tickets, you are or will be, you'll be able to contact the Lichfield Garrick. The show is on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday.
Yes, we think it's running until Saturday, don't we? We're hoping, yes.
Get this stick, hopefully you get it before Saturday the 23rd. If you do, go ahead, give them a call, get a booking. It's certainly worth a great night out.
Yeah, I think it is. It will make a cracking night out for all the family. There are surprises, there's a twist, there are turns, there is tumult, there is excitement. It really does have it all. And don't forget, we are now on YouTube, aren't we, Colin? You tell the listeners all about that.
We're on YouTube. You can check out our very first episode where I did a really interesting interview with a brilliant actor called Jeffrey Holland. That's available now on YouTube. This, by the time you get your sticks, will also be uploaded to YouTube, where you will be able to hopefully take a look at some of the photos that me and Josh have taken this evening, and hear the episode in full if you want to play it back. And obviously, as we alluded to, we will have the interview with Ashley next week.
Absolutely, so stay tuned for that. Thank you very much for listening to the end of this episode. I think that's all there's left to say is goodbye from me, Josh.
And take care, look after yourselves, and goodbye from me, Colin.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.